Hello everyone. Let us take the another topic, that is non-farm activities in Palampur. See, in this chapter, the story of village Palampur, this is our last topic, what we are going to take, non-farm activities in Palampur. Apart from agriculture, there are other activities which is carried out in Palampur, which is called non-farm activities. They are dairy, the other common activity, small-scale manufacturing, in Palampur, the shopkeepers of Palampur, and the transport of fast developing sectors. So this is all we are going to learn. That these all activities are also there in Palampur, and people those who are engaged in non-farm activities, they earn a little amount. Let us take one by one and try to understand it. Dairy, the other common activity. See, dairy is the common activity in many families of Palampur. People feed their buffaloes on various kinds of grass and the jwara and the bajra that grows during the rainy season. The milk is sold in Raiganj, the nearby large village. Two traders from Shahpur town, they have set up the collection cum chilling centers at Raiganj, and where the milk is transported to faraway towns and cities. In that way, people, they earn, those who are engaged in such kind of activity, those who are producing some products from, or the dairy products like milk and all, they sell it to the nearby village, that is Rayanj. You remember in our first slide we had told you how the Palampur is well connected with big nearby towns and cities and villages. So it is all about. Second is the small scale manufacturing in Palampur. That means people are engaged in small scale manufacturing units. Let us see what is it and how the people carried out this activity. See, at present, less than 50 people are engaged in manufacturing in Palampur. Unlike the manufacturing that takes place in the big factories in the towns and cities, the same way manufacturing in Palampur is also done, and it involves very simple production method. Very small and simple production method and are done on a small scale. They are carried out mostly at home or in the field with the help of family labor. They rarely hire laborers. So in that way, they do in their own houses or in the fields. There is a small, a kind of story given. We have to learn all these stories, small stories, as a form of illustration and the example given here. And we need to understand the characters and their activities and the questions, so that whenever the questions is they ask us during our examination, we should able to write down all the answers. So let us read this and try to understand it more about this non-farm activity, that is small scale manufacturing in Palampur. Mishilal has purchased a mechanical sugarcane crushing machine run on electricity and has set it up on his field. Sugarcane crushing was earlier done with the help of bullocks, but people prefer to do it by machines these days. Mishilal also buys sugarcane from other farmers and processes it into jaggery. The jaggery is then sold to traders at Shahpur. In the process, Mishilal makes a small profit. What capital did Mishilal need to set up his jaggery manufacturing unit? Let us say, what kind of capital did Mishilal need to set up? To set up his manufacturing unit, Mishilal needed the capital like fixed capital in the form of sugarcane crushing machine, working capital in the form of money for buying sugarcane and other from other farmers for crushing, and for paying the electricity bill of running and crushing machines. Who provide the labor in this case? The labor is provided by him and his family. Otherwise, he'll have to employ landless laborers. Can you guess why Mishilal is unable to increase his profit? Yeah, Mishilal has to set up a small scale unit. The farm holdings in the villages are very small and about 2 hectares in size, and the production of sugarcane is low as more area is under wheat cultivation, what we have already studied. So the raw material what Mishilal get in the form of sugarcane is also less, and moreover he has to pay the electricity to run the machines. Since the industry is small scale, production is less, and therefore he is unable to increase his profit. Could you think of any reason when he might face a loss? Yeah, we can think of many reasons. Say like if crushing machines become defective, his production will reduce, and or it will totally stop due to drought or other calamity. The production of sugarcane in nearby areas also reduces. If the demands of jaggery decreases, he will not be able to sell enough to get enough profit. Why does Mishikal sell his jaggery to traders in Shahpur and not in his own village? Because Palampur is a small village of 240 families and there is not a big demand of jaggery here. Shahpur is a town where people come from different surrounding villages to buy things and there are more demand, of jaggery there. So Mishilal sells his jaggery to the traders in Shahpur and not in his village. Okay, this is what is the answers for all those questions what we have discussed. So we have also taken up the second one, that is manufacturing, small scale manufacturing in Palampur, and this is the second non-farm activity. The third non-farm activity in Palampur which is carried out is shopkeeping. The shopkeepers in Palampur, let us see their how they carried out and earn a little amount. People involved in trade exchange goods are not many in Palampur. The traders in Palampur and shopkeepers who buy various goods from wholesale market in the cities and sell them in the villages. You know what are wholesale market? Where all kind of goods in bulk we can get, and that too the less price, like the reasonable price we get, and then they actually purchase in bulk and then they sell it in the villages. You will see small general stores in the village selling a wide range of all kinds of items like rice, wheat, sugar, tea, oil, biscuit, soap, toothpaste, batteries, candles, notebooks, pen, pencil, even some cloths, all kind of things like eatables, provisions, and daily needs, everything in one shop they sell. So such type of shops, you must have also come across in the villages, that in one shop they keep all kind of items and people they purchase it from them. A few of the families whose houses are close to the bus stand, they used a part of the space to open small shops. They sell eatables also. Okay, this type of villages, this type of scenes or this type of shops are also open, and people they do earn a little amount of money from such kind of small business. There is another story given about Kareem, a well educated person who opened his computer class, and let us see how the village is developing. Okay, so now even education people, you studied now in the first slide when we were discussing about that it also have schools, they have opened the schools and all. So Kareem also, that is also one of the story. Let us read and try to understand. Kareem has opened a computer class center in a village. In recent year, a large number of students have been attending college in Shahpur town. Kareem found that number of students from the village are also attending computer classes in the town. There were two women in the village who had a degree in computer applications. He decided to employ them. He brought computers and set up the class in the front room of their house overlooking the market. High school students have started attending them in good number. Let us discuss. In what way is Kareem's capital and labor different from Mishri Lal? You remember Mishri Lal's story? The person who make jaggeries and sell? Yeah, let us see. What is the difference between their capital? Kareem's fixed capital is what? Kareem's fixed capital is those computers, isn't it? And what is the fixed capital here for Mishri Lal? That is that machine, isn't it? Both are fixed capital in form of machine. But Karim has a larger fixed capital you can say, because he has asset in the form of computer, which are more expensive than the sugarcane crushing machine. Karim has also employed educated and qualified computer teachers, whereas Mishilal's labor is mainly unskilled labor, what we have understood in the story of Mishilal. Why didn't someone start a computer center earlier? Discuss the possible reason. Reason could be as very few educated people were there in the village. There was not any demand for computer courses. The villagers were not aware of the employment potential of computer courses. So nobody thought that such a business could be successful. Teaching faculty for computer courses was not available in the village earlier. But as the children or as the people over there they studied, they started knowing the benefit of educating them more. So that's how Karim during the time he could able to open the computer classes and he get many students also. So this is what is the third what we understood about the non-farm activity, that is shopkeeping. Next is and the other Karim story. Next is transport, a fast developing sector. Let us see that how does this business flourishes, transportation business. So there are a variety of vehicles on road connecting Palampur to Raiganj. You remember in the previous slides we have told you about Raiganj. This Palampur is well connected with large villages and towns, and people can move to that places. So that helps even the Palampur to grow more economically. So there are a variety of vehicles on road connecting Palampur to Raiganj. Rickshaw wallas, tanga wallas, jeep, tractor, truck drivers, and people driving the traditional bullock carts and bogie are people in the transport services. They shuttle people and goods from one place to another and in return get paid for it. The number of people involved in transportation has grown over the last several years. So those who are engaged in this service, transport service, they become that is grown over the last several years, and people they started taking up this business also. So this is all about transport, a fast developing sector in Palampur. There's another example given related to it. Let us read that also and try to discuss the question answer. Kishora is a farm laborer. Like other such laborers, Kishora found difficult to meet his family's need from the wages that he received. A few years back, Kishora took a loan from the bank. This was under a government program which was giving cheap loan to poor landless households. Kishora bought a buffalo with his money. He now sells the buffalo's milk. Further, he has attached a wooden cart to his buffalo and used it to transport various items. Once a week, he goes to the river Ganga to bring back clay for the potters. Or sometimes he goes to Shahpur with a load of jaggery or other commodities. Every month, he gets some work in transport. As a result, Kishora is able to earn more than what he used to do some years back. Let us discuss. What is Kishora's fixed capital? Kishora's fixed capital is buffalo and modern cart, which he has purchased with the bank loan. Now, what do you think would be his working capital? The money that he earns, from selling the milk and transporting goods on his bullock carts minus his own living expenses is his working capital. In how many production activities Kishora involved? Let us count. First one is selling of buffalo's milk. Second, transporting various items. Third, bringing clay from the river Ganga for the potters. And fourth, transporting jaggery to the Shahpur. So these are the, you can say, production activities Kishora is involved in. Would you say that Kishora has benefited from better roads in Palampur? Of course, Kishora has certainly benefited from better roads in Palampur because he is involved in transport business. Better road enables him to easily transport goods from one place to another, run his business successfully, and earns profit, which would have been easy, which has become easy. And if you think in a different way, that it would be very difficult if in the absence of proper roads. So obviously Kishora was benefited with the better roads in Palampur. Am I clear, children? So these are the non-farm activities what we have done all together. There are four main non-farm activities. The examples given here for it. The first one is dairy. The other common activity is small-scale manufacturing in Palampur, the shopkeepers of Palampur and how they earn the money, and transport, a fast-developing sector there in Palampur. That's how we have concluded our chapter here. Hopefully, in our coming days, we will give you the question answers and go through the whole chapter, read it. If you don't understand, you can refer to these slides and you can able to understand it very easy. Even while teaching, we have given you lots of answers. So do remember it and read it and meditate on it. Try to understand it, relate it. This village, this is a hypothetical village. In the beginning slides, we have told you it's a hypothetical village, it's an ideal village, and the growing village. And you can relate it to India's village. You know how the villages are growing if they are well connected with nearby big towns and cities. Till then, learn and understand it. Thank you.